Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Kenny for Hometown Hero. Today we're talking about Vaporesso's new starter kit, the Polar. Vaporesso's products are really impressing me lately. This thing's very reminiscent of Vaporesso's previous offerings, and I'm not mad about that. I loved the Revenger X, the Switcher. They were awesome, and this is too. The Polar is a starter kit that does 220 watts, dual 18650, and it does all your functions, your TC, your curves, your wattage, and soft, medium, hard. The screen is beautiful, bright, easy to read, and the menus are very, very easy to navigate, especially because there's a menu button between the up and down buttons. So that's fantastic. I'm always a huge fan of that. And there's a whole bunch of different options, like you can change the screen and stuff, and that makes up the whole front panel. It's got a nice feel to it, like heft, but it's not like overly heavy. It's perfect. Aluminum, I want to say, around the outside. At the bottom we have some vent holes, and on the back, this whole back plate is the battery door. And so there's a little notch down here in the corner. You just pull this guy off and you get this really nice big warning, which I'm really happy Vaporesso did that. That's A+ in my book. That exposes the whole battery tray, which is exceptionally well done. Like, it just looks clean. Everything works well. There's no rattle on the batteries. Battery door is super tight and nice. Like, half the time I don't know which side it is and I've got to like pick around at the corners trying to find it. It's on that well. Now there is like a fraction of movement. There's 3 magnets on the actual mod and 3 on the door. Creates a beautiful hold. We have a center placement 510 here at the top. Nothing fancy, spring-loaded pin. You're not gonna fit monster atomizers on this thing. Anything more than a 24, you're definitely gonna get overhang. And there is just that little bit of overhang. You can see like the gap where the battery door and the front side just don't completely touch the bottom of the atomizer, but just looking at it from any kind of distance at all, you're not gonna see that. The mod functions extremely well and feels amazing in the hand. And regardless of which way I hold it, I find the button beautifully. Like, it's this big, beautiful, great clicky button that's extremely easy to find and feels really nice to press. This kit comes with the Cascade Baby SE sub-ohm tank, which is fantastic. Now, if you guys watch the channel, you know I've had an issue historically with the Vaporesso GT coil heads. I just got some bad luck with them, but I'm happy to report I do not have that issue anymore. I'm rocking the GT8 coil head right now. I was rocking the mesh one previously to this, and they're both fantastic. And this tank just suits them extremely well. Massive capacity. I think it's like 5.6 mils of juice. Whew. That is loud. Now, the airflow on this is fantastic, smooth, and has a level of turbulence that I really love, especially when you start turning it down. We have 3 airflow slots around the bottom with an airflow control ring that has a nice hard stop on either side. Really smooth, easy to adjust, isn't moving by accident. Really fantastic. It's not that loud at every adjustment setting. Like, here's wide open. No louder than most other sub-ohm tanks. It's only when you start turning it down a lot then it really gets loud. Overall though, I can overlook that because just the performance is fantastic. This tank has one of my favorite fill systems. It's kind of like the just push to open, except for with these ones you have to pull up and then push, which I could do without the pull up part because I've never had an issue with just the push open ones, but it's not going anywhere. You know you're not bumping this open by accident. Because of that system, everything is reverse threaded, so if you want to take it apart to clean it, keep that in mind. I have to give major props to Vaporesso for doing the whole universal coil thing. These coil heads are interchangeable with the new Mage coil heads for the Mage sub-ohm tank and some of the Smock coils, and they're just, even the GT coils that go in here are abundant. Like, you can find them and you'll be able to find them. So that is a major pro. One of my major cons for this thing is actually the aesthetic, like the bubble, how it bubbles out. I don't like the way this tank looks at all. It just doesn't go together nice in my opinion. Like, I would much rather it just be like flush, but then you're losing a lot of the capacity, so I can't really hate on it that much, but in my opinion, I'm just not a fan of it. Okay, one thing I do want to point out, so the battery life is fantastic on this thing, but one kind of little con or concern that I have with this, and as soon as this times out, I'm going to show you. All right, so the screen's timed out, right? The first time I press the button to get it to activate after the screen times out, it does this. It does like a long fire. Like, here's normal. right? Just after the screen times out and I press the button, it like gives too much power. Here we go, ready? I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's not a major issue, but if you're running dry and you do that, it could give you a little bit of a burnt coil. This mod comes in a rainbow of colors. You can get it all over the place. A huge thank you to Kakuki eSig for sending this to me to review. I'll put their link in the description. Right now, you can get this for around $60, which is one hell of a deal if you ask me. Overall, this thing is absolutely fantastic, and I definitely recommend it. Is it the best starter kit on the market right now? In my opinion, no. But for $60, you cannot go wrong, especially with the availability of the coil heads and it's definitely up there on my list. If you want to get in on our current giveaways, make sure you leave a comment on this video, then click the link in the description to get signed up. If you like this video, like that smash button, make sure you're subscribed and press the bell so you get notified when we post new content. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm Kenny for Hometown Hero, and I'll see you in the next video.